my dance, make it hurt.
So hi everyone, and welcome to our interview with Patrick Jackson. I am the coordinator for the Teaching Younger Learners SIG, Grant Osterman, and I'm very excited to be here today with my colleague, Marybeth Kamibeppu. And we want to talk today about the upcoming conference, our national conference, and our plenary speaker. So Marybeth, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Grant. We were lucky this year. We have an international plenary speaker coming out of Ireland, Patrick Jackson. Patrick used to work in Japan, and some of you may know him from his Potato Pals textbooks or his activism with students and picking up garbage. He has a whole plan there, which I'm hoping he's going to talk about, because I think as the SDGs and things get more popular in Japan, that this will have a nice, active, and community-based way that we can all get more involved. So let me take it over to Patrick. What else can you tell us
Hi,
about?
Marybeth. Hi, Grant. Thanks so much for this opportunity to talk all the way across the world. Exciting technologies enabled us to do so many things. And thank you also for to all your members for the opportunity to share some of what I've been doing with your organization. I find it sort of curious and wonderful that even though I left Japan 10 or 12 years ago, I've been living in Ireland all this time, that I'm still able to keep in touch in this way, and it's an absolute honor and a pleasure. I spent 12 or 13 years teaching in Japan at pretty much every level. I started in a private language school for elementary, pre-primary, and then moved up to junior high school, university, and community college. And then I'd always joke that my next step was to teach the dead in the cemetery across the road from where I lived. But rather than do that, I left the country and came back home for various reasons. But so to have this opportunity to talk to people about my experiences in Japan, and since then, kind of what happened, what I learned from what happened, and hopefully one or two things that might be of use to people who are listening or watching. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to do, and yeah, it's a really exciting opportunity for me to meet some of my old friends in Japan.
Yes, and we're planning a huge audience too. We've had really good turnout for these online conferences. And in fact, it seems like we're able to reach a greater audience now that we don't have to actually go to a venue. I mean, everyone loves going and doing face-to-face. It's a wonderful opportunity. But I think we can reach so many more people, and especially with JALT Junior this year. Isn't that right, Marybeth? We're opening it up for everything.
Yeah, it helps because a lot of our members, just to give you a little bit more background, they're self-payers, so going to the conferences is always a big deal. And as teachers of younger learners, a lot of our members also teach on Saturdays. So going online, while it's people are a little bit sad about it, we have managed to reach a lot more members, I feel, or a lot more diversity in members to get re-involved or re-energized by being able to go to a half-day conference or popping in for something on a Saturday afternoon because you teach Saturday morning or something like that. So
I mean, I found with most of the work I'm doing at the moment that while it's obviously an awful situation with this pandemic, that there are all sorts of interesting and creative ways that people are dealing with this, and I think this is one of the things that people have become very, very good at. And I'm looking forward to inviting some of my friends in Ireland to come to JALT this year, which will be great fun, and hopefully a few other places as well. So yeah, but yes, and also with the environmental work, the litter picking work, which started a couple of years ago as a program which was delivered. You know, I would visit primary schools, and last year, actually in January, I visited an awful lot of local primary schools here, and then I thought with coronavirus that this was going to be impossible. But actually, while it is impossible for me to visit schools, we've found that we're getting contacted by more schools, and that we're delivering the entire program, you know, through remote means. You know, we're posting out all the stuff to the schools, and which has meant that we've then had to design really cool packaging and all sorts of things, which then means that we're actually thinking now much more globally, because we can, of course, post out packages all over the world now. Which, if it was just me trudging around Irish primary schools, wouldn't have really happened. So I think it's brought us together in many exciting ways, and I have no doubt that we're going to, you know, there will be a vaccine soon enough, and we'll come out at the other end of this in a much stronger position in many ways. Of course, it's very, very tough for a huge number of people, but I think, you know, 5 or 10 years down the road, we'll look at this and we'll think, gosh, we learned so much. And personally, with my family, you know, having us all, you know, together has had a really great effect on our family. You know, it's brought us together in all sorts of ways, whereas before we were always buzzing off somewhere left, right, and center, or, you know, I'd be going off to China, and, you know, my wife would be going to and fro from Japan. But actually, we've had nearly a year now where we've all been in the same house all the time, and it's been really lovely. So yeah, and of course, the litter picking is something that people can do. You know, people are able to do it if they're careful and they take the right precautions and sanitize and so on. Litter picking is actually a really good outdoor activity that you can do with children, you know, if you follow the rules. So we've found that, you know, again, we thought that no schools would sign up for the program, but actually we've kind of been inundated with requests. So which again is a nice surprise to come out of all this.
Well, we're really looking forward to your presentation. It'd be great if you could be here. But as you mentioned, you've been out of Japan for over a decade, and so not to put you on the spot or anything, but what do you, if you could choose, what do you think you miss most about Japan?
Wow. Yes, so many things. Yeah.
There are a lot of things too. Yeah, I would agree.
I spent my time in Nagoya, and I have some very, very good friends there, and I miss them most of all. You know, Leslie, who I'm sure you all know, and Mr. Brian Cullen, another JALT favorite, and lots of other people. But yeah, when you live, I don't know how many thousand miles it is between Japan and Ireland, but that's the thing you really miss, that you can't just, you know, and also it's not, you know, Japan is not Europe. I'm sure you know that. And Ireland is not Asia, and I'm sure you know that too. And there's, you know, you can easily get to Paris or Rome or Spain or from Ireland, but it's just that much further. So I miss that, being able to see people, and I miss the food. Yes. Now my wife goes on mercy missions to Japan as much as she can, and she comes back with 2 20-kilo suitcases full of, you know, curry roux and you know, seaweeds and miso soups and every kind of thing you can imagine. But yeah, miss the food very much, especially Koko Ichiban.
We still have that here. Yes, it's still here. I'm not sure how old it is, but wow, 10 years ago, 10, 13 years ago, I guess it was here. I don't know how old it is. It must have been fairly new back then, I'm thinking.
I don't know, but I kept it going in its early years. And every time I go back to Japan, I do my best to keep it prospering. And in fact, it is something of an ambition of mine to be the franchisee in Dublin, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hit.
Well, I know our Aichi friends will appreciate the shout out you gave to them, because we have a lot of members from Aichi in our organization. And not to give away too much about what's upcoming in for your presentations, I believe you have two presentations we have scheduled. And you were talking about the potato suit and how to get around Tokyo on the bullet train, and I'm really looking forward to that. I can have this image now.
Well, it was a fairly scarring experience for me, and also probably for the gentleman sitting next to me on the train on the way back to Nagoya. Yes, my first step into being published was with some materials that we made in my first job at the Potato Club, and these were picked up by Oxford University Press. So suddenly I went from sort of just teaching my own little class in Nagoya, and next thing I was had the opportunity to go to ETJ or JALT events and talk to large groups of teachers. And one of these teachers gave me a potato suit. She was an early adopter of the Potato Pals and a fan, and so I was challenged by, I believe, Mr. Oliver Bailey, who you may know from Oxford University Press. I think I was challenged by Ollie to I bet you wouldn't ride that on the bullet train back to Nagoya. And it may have been after a good dinner. And I took his challenge and rode on the bullet train in a potato suit, which I may be one of the few people to have done that thing. So I might mention this in my talk, but we might just let it go as an unfortunate incident in the history of Japanese public transport.
But is there a photo?
No.
Picture would be nice. Yeah,
it's been redacted, I think.
Well, so yeah, we don't want to get this too long. So thank you all for participating today. And I'm not going to get into too much more of the details. I hope that everyone will come to our conference, listen to Patrick, and feel the excitement of the conference feeling. The final scheduling is still taking shape as we go, but we will send that out to all of our memberships in the Teaching Younger Learners SIG. And I guess that'd be all for me. Marybeth, I'll let you close, and then with Patrick.
Sure. And just to let people know that you're thinking maybe JALT is the weekend conference, but because it's online, it's about a week long. And as the schedule is right now, we have our first weeknight JJ event, JALT Junior event on Tuesday the 17th, 6 to 7:30 in the evening. And it's a My Share where everybody will give a minute or two of some good idea, and we'll grow from there. And we do have one on Saturday, and we have Patrick speaking Saturday and Sunday, and that will be coming out in other emails. But I just wanted to give you the heads up on that Tuesday evening, 6 to 7:30. We'll send out more, but because you won't be looking for it, with the expanded online presence, we will be doing that. So yes, thank you, Grant, for organizing, and thank you, Patrick, for volunteering to do all these things for us and to be our plenary speaker.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure and an honor, and I'm really looking forward to it.
To easily find all of the presentations related to JALT Junior, visit our website at jalt.org. Click on our banner for the conference, and in the side you'll see JALT 2020 schedule. This is a provisional schedule still, but scrolling down, one of your options is to view the JALT Junior schedule, and this will show you all of the sessions related to teaching young learners. And the first one is on Tuesday, November 17th, a My Share event. Here is Patrick Jackson's plenary session, Saturday, November 21st, 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Japan time. And here is Patrick Jackson's additional session on Sunday, November 22nd, 4:45 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. Japan time.
Great.
Yes, and thanks to all of you again. As Marybeth pointed out, it's an 8-day conference. It's going from November 16th to the 23rd, I believe it is exactly. And there's so many things for young learners. And remember, young learners is 0 to 18. We have a lot of things planned and definitely looking forward. I hope that we can, our membership can come and enjoy time with Patrick. I know we have a time difference. What are we talking? 8 hours, 9 hours difference?
I think it's 9 hours at the moment. But,
So
yeah.
when we're enjoying the evening and socializing, it'll be early morning for you and so forth. But we hope that you can join us into some of the festivities that we have planned too. Thank to both of you again, and look forward to your to your presentation.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
These my dollars make it hurt.